We continue onward in the death direction, full of death. Hey, we have achieved light. Enlightenment, if you will. Am I ever gonna power up the rest of my party, I wonder, or... Alright. This wall opens, I can see little cracks in the texture, like up there. And over here, this one brick's too big. The pattern doesn't match all over the place here. Can I push you? Why would that do that?
Blah. You came back. You escaped from that underground jail? But there's no way you could escape. Of all the dirty tricks. I guess I have to keep my word. You can go through.
Don't think I'll forget this. But how do I get through the crack in the... was there a crack in the wall over there because they used the same room in both of these locations? So there's a hole there for the door in the other room? Are you just gonna throw me in again? Nope. Why would you ever withhold your word? What are you, a loser? Just beat me. Cheat forever. Game over, man. Game over. Do I go up or right? An item shop? Yeah, you are. I guess I've been stuck in here for a while. I don't need an item shop, though. My items are pretty full. Right? I have one slot open, I guess.
What? Who are you, man? I don't know your face. Maybe you're Mario, huh? Just joking. I'm the guard of this warehouse. I'm really bored, man. Hey, you know, if you got so many coins, I'll sell you stuff, okay? Oh, you're loaded, man. Take a look around. I'll sell you anything you see. Bruh. What does it do? It can do anything. Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe there will be a situation where I want one of those. The rough thing about items is that only Mario can use them, and Mario's busy doing all the other things, the star attacks and and also doing all the damage and. Okay. That's probably where I'm supposed to go. So if that's where I'm maybe supposed to go, then what's you hiding over here? Or am I wrong? I might be wrong. Where am I going? What is happening? Yo, I'm gonna let you free now. It's locked, you can't open it. Aha, he can't get me. Aw, shit. I was wrong about the thing. The lock is back there. Just get him. No? With the lock just being right there, I just default to thinking, hey, maybe I can do it.
Ellie!
Yeah, you don't do any damage at all. You just sit there and lose. No! I was about to kill you. Oh, and he summoned the guy in front of him, of course. So I can't even finish him off. You're being very naughty, sir. No. Stop. Yay, you spawned the guy behind you this time. So I can do a murder on you. And you get to be a dead boy. Alright, well, let's get you out of here. Why did I switch to a character that only has like a hit point? Uh-oh. Or that only does like minor damage. He is useless to me. Yeah, that was a mistake. Ugh. Well, now it's basically not even worth switching characters again, because before the other guy even shows up, you'll win. Most likely. Right, I actually want to keep... I switched him out, but I want to keep Watt out, because Watt goes through people's armor. Which at least means he does damage, no matter what. Which is better than a lot of you guys can say. Which is why I really should have upgraded him by now, but I haven't. I don't know. There's a lot of characters, man. I also kind of thought that the rank 3 upgrade would be more common, because the rank 2 upgrade was super common. But maybe that was because of the fact that there was secretly an extra rank coming soon. Boobity 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 boobity. The Toad House's slogan is refresh your body and soul. This isn't a real Toad House, but you can take a quick nap. I like naps. I just unlocked a Toad House in the middle of Bowser's castle. That's good. Now I can grind. If I wanted to. I could just say I have a save point and a Toad House, which means that I can just grind and get a bunch of experience if I feel the need to. Because I just won't have to, because you can just keep replenishing yourself. And also have a save point so that if you die, you're fine. I come all the way from Dry Desert to Princess Peach's party, and look what happens. I've been to some lame parties, but that was ridiculous. I want to go back to the desert as soon as possible. Mario, you're safe. Oh, I'm so glad. We all got captured before we knew what was happening. A few people at the party were able to get away, but they caught most of us. I wonder where Princess Peach, the minister, and all the other people, all the other guests are. Mario, your main goal is to save the princess, right? She must be doing okay, holding on to the belief that you'll come. We soldiers should have broken out to save her by now. But it's taken a lot of efforts just to protect the prisoners. What a shame. Protect the prisoners. Alright. I was right about which thing was the next way to go. Cool. So if I go in to fight Bowser and Witch Lady and other elements, and I feel like I'm too weak, I could come back here and grind. It's a high level area with an inn and a save, which is all you really need. Whoop 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 whoop. Ah! He spawned on top of me. Kind of. Boop doop 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 doop. What have I done? I released it so early. No, he lives. And then he healed himself. How nice of you. And he's invisible. Yep. Yep. Die. Right, I should be jumping on you guys because you don't have spikes and my jump does more damage. I sometimes forget that they do different amounts of damage. The main difference is that one does less damage, but it does it all in one big hit, which means it's better for penetrating. Why? Dude, he's in his translucent mode, that's why I can't hit him. That should mean he can't hit me. He shouldn't be able to hit me, that's the rules. But yeah, the benefit of the hammer, besides the obvious stuff, like when the game's straight up like, yeah, you can only use this type of attack on this type of enemy or else, like spikes, is that the hammer does a lot of damage in one hit. Because while the jump does more damage overall, it does it over the course of 2 hits. So if the thing you're fighting has a defense bonus, then said defense bonus will resist the jump twice, but the hammer once. Which means that the defense reduces your damage by twice as much when you do the jumps. Like my monk in D&D, where I learned that lesson the hard way. Oh no, don't. No, Mario. Oh. Mario. Get down here. You think you're better than us? You think you're better than us? What I thought. He's a dead boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I need one of you to die so I don't take 2 hits of this mega attack. Because that would suck. So please don't do that to me. There we go. You have an electric body. No, I have an electric body. Oh. I see. Anyway, I'm done with you. Goodbye. Or not. Still working on it. Stop that. Rude. Come on. I appreciate the free experience because no attacks are coming my way, so these are pretty low cost to deal with. But at the same time, I'm like, you're making this the Infinifight. I'm slowly healing. Da, da, da. Yeah. Good. Haha. Ka. What? Neither of us hit each other? Oh no. There's gonna be a lot of strange magic going on in this one. Yay! All they have to buff is each other though, so this is gonna be a little weird. Oh, it moves way slower than I thought it did. There we go. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. I need to thin this group out. Now. That. It's a me. Gonna have to ask you to stop. Oh. He did. Like, that sentence ended with me getting exactly what I asked for, I suppose. I'm never gonna use this mystery item. I'm too much of a coward. I'll keep the lightning bolt item. I don't know. Maybe it cures world hunger. Or maybe it literally kills you. Dead Mario, goodbye. How do I get up there? Oh, this area's gonna fill with water. That's a dock. Wow. Oh, look, the water. Well, I do believe it's time to switch characters. You do something. Okay. Oh. You must be able to raise the water level again. Da-blam! I can see the rims of those too. This is starting to feel a little bit like Sen's Fortress of all places. Oh, can't go that way. There does appear to be a wall. And now got another key. There's somewhere. Maybe we just have to lower the water levels back down again? Like maybe there was a locked door down there that I never even saw. Because I just went straight to the chain when I found it. I like it when my castle makes a toilet flushing sound. Makes me feel like I really am king of the Mushroom Kingdom. Wow. I'm kind of drawing a blank at the moment. Oh yeah, there's the castle. Surprisingly, this is the beginning of a new session, not the end of the previous one. So I'm like, alright, all new vigor for Paper Mario. But I'm kind of... I don't know, I think I'm losing steam. I don't remember how you guys worked. It was a while ago. Was it just that they traveled closer to me over time and then they hit me? I don't know, they died immediately, so we're good. I'm about to die, oh my god! I forgot how low my health was. Oh, damn it. Oh wow, yeah, they die very quickly, actually. Now I'm torn, because I want to heal with star power, which I think I can only do during combat, but I also don't want to get hit. And as long as I avoid this, I can avoid getting hit. I don't know, this, God. No. Okay, now I need to heal, or else. I think I'm getting particularly bored with this dungeon. The mirror area was kind of neat. Which... That was the previous dungeon, wasn't it? Wasn't that the summit of the snow area? Yeah. So this... Yeah, it's been Bowser's area that's been not very exciting. Because it's a lot of leg work, I suppose. Because I want to say that until now you've kind of been... There's been kind of a linear progression through each dungeon, but... Oh, shit. There's kind of been a linear progression through each dungeon of some sort, but at the same time, there's been, like... You're kind of exploring and poking around and figuring out how to proceed and so on and so forth. Whereas this one is really linear. Like, it's really obvious all the time, pretty much, what to do next, and I'm pretty much in a vaguely crooked hallway. I'm kind of just running forward through a bunch of enemies while trying to keep myself from just dying outright. And while I'm doing that, like, there'll be just a really minor thing. Like what I did a moment ago, like that was just kind of more tedious than interesting. Ah, shit. I'm not making any forward progress. This is bad. Where I was, it's like, okay, you pull the 2 chains to make the water level go to the maximum water level, and then you press the button that makes, you get the key. Then you make the water level go all the way back down, and then you're done. And like, the last, like, I feel like I've been through like 5 iterations of that now. There was the cave area where you just kind of kept going left. There was the cave area where you just kept going left. There was the lava area where you just kept going right. And it's like they're trying to... Conceptually, there's potentially something neat about the fact that it's all about, like... Now you can use every character's power to solve your problems. Look how far you've come, Mario. Look at all these... Look, isn't that cool? Look at all your guys you got. You're all coming together. But in practice, it's just not compelling gameplay to me. Oh boy, dare I try this again? A lot easier if they don't ever use the joystick. Wow! Glad I try. Ruh-roh. This, I can't do this, can I? Because if I keep attacking them directly, I'll defeat the bullet bills, but then I'll never catch up with hitting the cannons, right? Or I will, apparently. Maybe they only fire every other turn. Yeah, it's just not... They're not really puzzles. So it's like, yes, I have these abilities that I can use to solve my situation, but like, it's kind of like comparable to like what's sometimes the worst criticism of like Zelda games, is sometimes Zelda games are like inventive and creative and look at all this stuff over here and oh, where do I go and how do I solve this and what's going on over here and I'm so curious. And other times with Zelda, there's a paint by numbers element of like, okay, I got the dungeon item for this item. There's a bunch of like clearly labeled locations where I'm supposed to use it, and then when I do that, the dungeon will be solved. And it's hard to articulate what makes one interesting, what makes one not interesting from game to game. But this game feels like the not good version. And it's rough because this is like the climax of the game. This is the big final showdown. This is where a Mario game would get really intense. Like when I played Mario Odyssey and I was doing that really crazy platforming gauntlet in the final level, and it was like intense, and it was like, that was a multi-hour gauntlet of like, one of these days I'm gonna get through it, I can do this. But because it's an RPG, and not a particularly deep one at that, all they can do is make the damage numbers a bit higher. But not too high, because then the game will just be unplayable. And the combat's simple enough that there's not a lot of crazy stuff going on. And because the combat's the primary challenge, the dungeon is mostly just a massive amount of just sheer duration instead of design. There's not a lot of... There have been better dungeons before though, and before now. There's been more interesting stuff going on in previous areas, including the mirror area of the last world. So maybe it's the game itself kind of ran out of steam a little bit, because it's just throwing duration at me. Like, I've been doing this for a while, it feels like. And I'm just kind of going forward. I'm not poking around an environment and exploring it and figuring out where to go next and solving problems. Which was never very hard, but at least it was more distracting and more compelling as a result. But now it's really like, I'm just pushing forward. And I'm not really thinking much. And there is a variety of enemies, but I'm not actually having to approach them in a variety of ways. And in fact, if I find any system that works, I'll pretty much stick with that one approach, because the punishment for screwing up is actually relatively severe, because you get kicked all the way back out to the main menu and have to load for your last save. And since the damage numbers are getting up there, one mistake can lead to a lot of incoming damage, as we saw before with those a few close calls against random encounters that weren't even boss fights, and I was like, oh god, I'm going to die. So I'm playing it safe and consistent, and just staying with the same approach as much as I can, if that's worked in the past. I'm kind of just waiting for it to over. I just want to get to the boss fight, where maybe a fun surprise mechanic will happen, and maybe a funny scene will happen in the cutscene. But until then, it's just a really long linear dungeon, and I'm just kind of like getting through it, I suppose, which is not a great feeling to have. This is where like some kind of dramatic narrative stakes would probably help, because like around now something intense is probably happening in an RPG, like maybe one of your party members betrayed you, or you had a revelation of some sort, or you know, you're learning about the evil dude's actual plan, because he's just been like this guy that you knew how you had to stop because he was messing with your dudes, but now you know the real stakes of what's happening. He's gonna shatter all of time and space or some shit like that. But no, it's just Bowser just wants the kingdom again for the 500th time, and there's no change to his real motivation. It's just this time his power came from a rod instead of like being a cat or whatever. Ah, stop it. My initial concern kind of continued, which is that the first thing I thought when I heard about there being Mario RPGs and the prospect that I was going to play with them, is just like, I was like, what the hell do you do with a Mario, like the Mario universe? What do you do with that to make a story? Ah, crap, I keep jumping too late. How do you make a compelling RPG out of that? And to some extent, the answer has been, you don't? Not an RPG, at least. They came up with some interesting RPG mechanics, but the core of a RPG is the role-playing. And I don't really expect real role-playing from most games, especially not Japanese RPGs, because they usually don't even have choices in them, which is kind of the first step to role-playing. But they usually have like they usually go all in on the narrative on some level, at least. And they kind of just didn't. And I guess they don't even have the excuse of this being their first RPG, because there was already a Super Mario RPG before this, although I think that might have been made by Square Enix, and this is made by... I think this is just made by Nintendo. So maybe that's the distinction, is that... is there Nintendo's first Mario RPG or something? I don't know. But my fears were more or less true to form, true to reality, which is that Mario's just not much to work with as a character. So the idea of having a game in a genre that's inherently built around narrative, and then centered around a character known for not having any discernible personality or story. He's just kind of like a optimistic blank slate that never speaks, who jumps through a level and solves it. Like, I don't want to play a Rayman RPG either, necessarily. This is coming across as extra negative, probably. Like, more so than it needs to. That's all I can really think about right now, is just sort of what the adventure has been up until now, and what I think of that. Because I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing right now very much, because I'm fighting the third set of cannons in a row, and they just take a bunch of turns to kill, but there's not really anything interesting going on with the process of fighting them. The one twist here is that there's a turtle dude, and so that turtle dude's gonna cause way more damage, because I can stop all the incoming damage from the cannons normally, but the turtle dude's gonna keep charging me. And I can't attack him because I can't hit him with my hammer unless he's in the front row. So I'd have to do other stuff to attack him. But since he has high armor, those approaches probably wouldn't help. I guess if anything, the smarter move would have been actually switch to Watt again. I keep forgetting to switch back to Watt. I have a bad tendency to stick with the character that they just made me switch to do a puzzle. I will say there was like a handful of times in this game where you did have to do something surprising with one of your companions, but it was super rare. Like one of the examples of how limited this approach to party members and stuff like, and as like a puzzle solving approach is probably right. I should have been jumping on the bullet bills. Then actually, do I need to jump on the bullet bills? It just kind of felt natural because I normally jump on bullet bills. It probably was best to do anything else really. Eh. There we go. This will help out with the incoming damage. Like, as a good example of what can be super paint by numbers and not very interesting is this character that's with me right now, the fish. Ooh, you're gonna really be in pain here. All you ever do is go to the docks. Like, oh, here's a dock where you can board the fish, so here's the part where you swim through, and that's it. And the other guy flies over spikes, so it's just a guy to switch to every time you encounter spikes. They're at most Metroidvania blockages, as opposed to like any kind of interesting gameplay that you solve or think about, if you know what I mean. There's been one of the surprises was when like I get to use the bomb character to blow up the lake because it wasn't clearly labeled as an explodable spot, but that was the exception. The vast majority of the time it's just like my hammer that now breaks red blocks or now breaks yellow blocks or now breaks whatever blocks. It's like, okay, I have it now. Now all of those are just no longer obstacles, and that's the rest of the game. Like, that's why I don't remember when the quiz comes up and it's like, yo, what color was the blocks that you got in this part, in that level? I'm like, I don't remember. Because all I know is I could break all the blocks in the game until suddenly there was one I couldn't break, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a new hammer. And then 2 seconds later I get a new hammer, and then I can break the block. And then I'm done with that. I don't have to memorize the colors, because it's not like I'm playing like a Metroidvania where it's like, oh, where are all the blue doors? I just got the blue key. Oh, where were they in the level? This is so interesting. It's like, no, there was a block right in front of me, and then I had to make a left to get the hammer, and then go right to break the block. And that's usually the extent of what they did with that mechanic. It's just not... We've seen much better on this channel of most of these ideas. And so I don't think... Maybe this was better for its time, but I don't think it's aged well. And so I'm left with like, oh, the level design's not great. The story barely exists. The characters mostly don't exist. And I'm just kind of like, all right, this is someone's childhood nostalgia, and I can respect that, but I don't think it does anything especially great, and I don't really have any desire to like revisit it in the future. It's just like I'm just like, this is fine. I have a neutral response to most of this game. I tried to let it grow on me because it's like I'm trying not to do that to piss on everybody's dreams or memories or whatever, but I'm like, there's just not much going on here. All right, well, next time hopefully we'll get to Bowser and I'll kick him in the dick.